Well, this is John Black, super chemist. We're here to talk about, we're going to get into slavery here soon. So I want to talk about the KKK. Is it myth or is it fact? KKK were lynching black people back in the day, after slavery and that. Well, in a way, yes, it's a myth, and obviously, in a way, it's true. Yes, obviously, the KKK hated black people. They lynched some black people. Yes, that's true. But I want you to think of it this way, okay? Like if I went out and I killed 10 people, and 9 of them were white, and 1 of them was black, okay? And they all were Republicans, okay? And I'm a political guy, right? And I killed these 10 people. 9 are white, 1 is black. They're all Republicans. Now, did I kill them because they were black, or did I kill them because they were Republicans? Now, if you're me, you'll say, well, I killed them because they were Republicans. If you were any other human on the planet, you would say, oh, it's because you're white and that one guy was black, so it all has to do with race. So, yeah, okay. 90% of the people that the KKK lynched were white, okay? Only 10% were black. So yes, it's a fact. The KKK was lynching black people. But is that who they were really lynching? Yes, they were lynching black people. They were lynching white people too. But we don't say that they lynched white people. They didn't lynch white people or black people. Okay? They lynched both, but that wasn't the reason why they were lynching them. So their color of skin is irrelevant at that point. You know what I mean? This is like goes back to my video that why don't we blame the 100%? And the answer always comes back to because the 100% are the elites, and the elites are the ones who dictate or what books are taught in public schools and colleges. So they dictate history, basically. Yeah, 100% of the people lynched were Republicans. That's why they were being lynched, because they were Republicans. If they were being lynched because they were black, they would all have been black. Or at least 90%, right? Not 10%. You can't lynch 9 white people and 1 black guy and blame it on racial crap, okay? Yes, was it icing on the cake that 10% were black? Did they clap and revel? Oh, look, we have a black person and a Republican. It's icing on a cake. They're black also. Yes, obviously. But that wasn't why they were lynching them. They weren't lynching black people. They were lynching Republicans, and some of them, a small percentage of them, happened to have been black. Okay? So the myth is that they were lynching them because no. They just don't want you to think that Democrats were just horrible people going around lynching the Republicans. And that's what it was about. They were lynching the Republicans because they lost the war. And the KKK was the private military of the Democratic Party. The Civil War was over. The Southern Democrats wanted slaves. The Northern Republicans abolished slavery. And the Southern Democrats wouldn't go along with abolishing slavery. So we had a civil war. Then the Republicans won and the Democrats lost. So they made the KKK. They made their own little private army to go around and terrorize the Republicans. Because all black people, used to be Republicans until they got tricked into. And what's funny is before when all black people were Republicans, everything about them, their family unit was stronger. Their economy stronger. Everything about it, less racism. Everything was going great. And then they decided, hey, let's invite the Democrats into our homes and start voting for them. And then all of a sudden their family unit goes breaking apart, their economy, their neighborhoods, everything about them, it just goes down and down and down and down and down. And then they sit there and they say, I don't understand. I welcome the slave party. I welcome the KKK party. I welcome the Jim Crow party. I welcome the Democratic Party into my house. And somehow, at the same exact time, that same exact second, our community went downhill, but I don't know why. They're confused. The Democrats are confused. They don't understand black people. They're like, I don't know why. Why would that be? Why would it be? I wonder what happened. They don't know what happened. They don't correlate. Like, oh, maybe since the same exact second that I embraced the slave party, the KKK party, the Jim Crow party, maybe since that second that I did that, my family unit, my community, and everything about black people was going downhill since then. Maybe, I don't know. I know I'm a crazy racist for saying this, but maybe it's because you embraced the slave party, the Jim Crow party. You know what I mean? Maybe you embraced the KKK party, and that's why the black community went downhill since then. You know what I mean? You ever think of that? No. You wouldn't want to think of that. And this all goes back to, why do we believe that the KKK was going around lynching black people when they were not doing that? They were lynching Republicans. Because they want us to be divided. They want us to think it's all about black and white, black and white. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of racism, because the deep state, the Southern Democrats at that time, they had a thing going on telling everyone, well, these black people, they were enslaved because they were murderers and rapists, and they were told that over and over, because they didn't get these slaves and say, oh yeah, these were good people, but we just enslaved them anyway. No, they had a backstory about how they're all rapists and murderers, and that's why they were enslaved. You know what I mean? So that created just like what they did with Donald Trump. 50 years Donald Trump helps black people, and black people just constantly saying he's an icon of diversity and inclusion. For 50 years, they give him awards, they give him trophies. You know what I mean? Thank you for helping out the blacks. They write hundreds of rap songs about him. Then like a snap of a finger, they all hate him now. He's a racist. I know he's a racist because the news CNN told me so. If you're part of the 25% of the black people that are normal, you're not brainwashed, at least think of that. Think about it. Look at how the black people were brainwashed against, almost like, because Trump is like Abraham Lincoln pretty much on helping black people, and yet 75% of the blacks hate him, hate his guts, think he's the most racist. Well, what do you think? White people, you might think, if you're black, you might think back about white people, man, and people, why they were just so racist, man. But they were tricked. They were tricked. Just like, you know what I mean? And they didn't have, like the blacks today, though, they've had 50 years of experience seeing Trump on TV helping black people, having black friends, having black girlfriends, dating black chicks for 50 years. You know what I mean? And then they turn his back on him. At least white people can say, hey, we didn't have all that. All we had was the negative part of them telling us how they were rapists and murderers, you know what I mean? These black slaves, Yeah. Black people, what's your excuse, motherfucker? What is your excuse? And then you got brainwashed, but you had 50 years of evidence of the contrary, and you still let them brainwash you. So I want you to think about that when you think about white people, how they were just so racist. Yeah, they were. Just like black people are towards Trump today. But at least that, like I'm saying, the white people back in the day, they didn't have they didn't have 50 years of TV showing them how the black slaves were really not rapists and murderers. They were just collected up because it was a business, a slave business. Yeah, they didn't have that like black people have today on Trump, but yet they still turned on Trump. The only person trying to actually help them. Anyways, it's always the elites trying to get us to hate each other. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't the deep state. It wasn't the Southern Democrats. No, it wasn't the slave party. No, 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 no. It was white people. White people lynching black people. That's what it was. It wasn't the deep state. No, it wasn't the Southern Democrats at that time. That's who the deep state basically was. Oh, no. It wasn't them. No. It was white people. Yeah. Just like with slavery. What was it? 12.5% of white people owned slaves. So that means 87.5% did not own any slaves at all. Never had them, never would, never, But we blame white people? Only 12% of them had slaves, you idiots. No, you know who had slaves since the beginning of time in every culture? Is 100% of them, they all have one thing in common. They were rich. They were the elites. They were the kings, the religious people that were rich, the powerful, the elites. 100%. So saying connecting with slavery with anyone other than the elites is retarded, because 100% in every country from the beginning of time, all people that everyone who owned slaves, 100% of them were the elites. Okay, 100%, not 99.9, 100%. Okay, in Asia, in Africa, in UK, all the white countries, all the brown countries, yeah. 100% of the people who owned slaves where slavery was legalized were the elites. Okay, so saying it's about skin color or the whites or this or that is ridiculous. Okay, it's so crazy. But if we blame the whites, guess who we ain't blaming? The elites. And guess who? It was the lynching. If we blame we blame the whites for the lynchings, who ain't we blaming? All the elites. Wait, those elites, man, they really know how to do stuff, don't they? They know how to trick people, that's for sure. But it's not that hard to trick a human, because they're pretty much... I used to think they were like a brain-dead, psychotic, hairless monkey. But they're not. They're really one step above a cow. That's basically where a human's at. So tricking them into, because it's so crazy. It's so common sense what I'm saying, and yet everyone will watch this video and act like I'm a total moron. That's the funny part.